Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So today we're doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 16. And so it is a very poetic verse. I think so far this might be the most poetic verse that I've seen, that I've come across. It's the first two sections especially. I'll sure. I was reading it and I was going through the word by word translation. I was like, wow, this is quite good. And yeah, the meaning of course is also good. Krishna takes it deeper, and he explains it. It's not as new and as shocking as the first two or three verses that he spoke were, but it's taking it deeper, and it's nice. It's beautiful. Okay, so I'll sing it. I'm not going to play it in the background. I'll just sing it here. नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तस्त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. So the first section is nasato vidyate bhavo. Okay, and then the second one. So the first two are the ones that go really, that they kind of dovetail with each other really poetically and beautifully. So na sato vidyate bhavo, na asatah vidyate bhava. So asatah and bhava are the words that are used in the second verse as well. So na, never, asatah, of the non-existent. So non-existent is, the translation is material body. So asatah is non-existent, satah is eternal. So these are the opposite things. Asatah makes it non-eternal basically, so temporary. So asatah is temporary, which is the material body, which he's also calling non-existence, and then satah is the eternal. So and vidyate is there is. So and bhava is endurance, which is unchanging. So never of the material is there unchangingness. So basically of the material there is always going to be change, and then but he says it in the never way. Never of the material is there going to be unchangingness. And yeah, asatah and satah. And then the second line is na bhavo vidyate satah. Na bhavo, so never abhava. So here is bhavo, which means longevity, basically, eternalness, like endurance, unchangingness. Here abhava is changing, so vidyate is the same. There is satah of the eternal. So never of the eternal is there changing. Never of the material is there unchanged, is there endurance. Never of the eternal is there changing. So the eternal always remains, well, unchanged, and the material always changes. That is the crux of the sar in the Hindi word, is the crux of the first two sections. So never of the eternal is never going to change, and the material is always going to change. That's simply put. Ubhayorapi drishtontas. Ubhayor is of the two. Api also. Drishta observed. Antah conclusion. And I'm going to go to the next one also because it makes more sense that way. To indeed anayo of them, tattva of the truth, darshibhi, by the seers. So the seers see, observe. The seers, the sages, or people who can see beyond beyond the material thing that we are able to see. The seers observe this conclusion of the truth about these two things. So about the eternal and the changing, the material, the seers observed this truth about them, and they came to this conclusion. About the two things, they came to this conclusion. So yeah. So let's read the translation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that the non-existent, which is the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, which is the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both, right? And then the Swami Mukundanand one, of the transient there is no endurance, of the eternal there is no cessation. This has verily been observed and concluded by the seers of the truth after studying the nature of both. That makes sense. So basically, the soul is always eternal, and the transient is always changing. And that's pretty, the material body is also. So the soul is always eternal, and the body is always changing. So that may be going deeper into like, not deep, like going a layer removed might help to understand it better. That the soul is always eternal, and the body is always changing. The material body, anything material is always changing, and this has been observed and concluded by the seers of truth after studying the nature of both. That makes sense. So let's do verse 17 tomorrow, and wish you a very beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.